Hey everyone, and welcome to the August 2013 Jason Hootie Magical E-Monthly. Jason Hootie here once again from the White Mountains of New Hampshire, where we've been performing for the summer. We have performed up to date 204 shows, and we are down to our final 36. So definitely in the stretch run, finishing out the summer out here in New Hampshire before we move on to other events. And this month I had to bring to you a very special story, something that has just happened in the past couple of months. One of my best friends in the world of magic is a gentleman by the name of Marty Hahn. He goes by Marty the Magician out of Branson, Missouri. He's a fabulous performer and even a better person, and I'm lucky to call him a member of my inner circle of the magic community. Marty performs mainly at children's events, some corporate events, but a lot of children's events, and like many magicians, he has a rabbit. Well, a couple of years ago, the USDA, a spokesperson from the USDA, showed up at one of his shows and told him that he needed to have a license for his rabbit. And now thousands of magicians across the country perform with rabbits, and only about 1% of them have this license, but Marty had to have it because the USDA mandated it so. And so he's had the license for several years, where he pays the dues and also has monthly surprise inspections from the USDA. And then about 2 months ago, he received a letter from the USDA saying that he had to have a rabbit disaster plan for his bunny rabbits. Basically, any natural disaster, tornado, flood, fire, anything, any sort of disaster that could happen, Marty had to submit a 29-page document to the USDA about how he would take care of his rabbit. Now, I've known Marty for a while, and he treats his rabbit like his pet, like many magicians do, but he had to comply, and he thought that it was a very interesting story, so he passed it on to a blogger friend of his, and the story just exploded. In fact, I'm going to go live here onto Google, and if you type in, you can do this with me if you'd like to, rabbit disaster plan, and there are just pages and pages and pages about Marty and the rabbit disaster plan. The story got picked up by some pretty big markets. You may have heard of The Blaze, and Marty was picked up on The Blaze. There's his picture and some video. He was picked up by Fox News. He's actually going to New York to appear on Fox and Friends in a couple of weeks. The National Post picked up his story, and the biggest one probably was the Washington Post. He actually made the front page of the actual Washington Post in Washington, D.C. And it's a funny story, but the law was actually stayed, which means that it was kind of suspended. And Marty may be the first magician in history to overturn a law of the U.S. Congress. So if you're interested in doing a little bit of reading about this Washington Post story is a fabulous resource, and the link is right below this video. You can check it out for yourself if you'd like to learn more about this very bizarre story. This isn't really a liberal or conservative thing, whether you agree or disagree. I just wanted to pass this along because it's amazing that Marty got so much publicity out of this, and it is still rolling. So Marty, keep it going. And if you need a magic show, you can call Marty. He's probably in your price range for a couple more months until this really takes off, and then you'll have to settle for me. Yeah, you can head on over to jasonhootie.com or call or email if you're interested in a magic show for the fall. We'll talk to you in September. Take care.